My name is Akanksha Doshi. I hope you all are doing great. So we have Super Coach Grandmaster RB Ramesh sir with us, and he will be teaching you about the expendables, how to sacrifice a pawn for greater good. So I hope you all are excited. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Akanksha. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. So we'll just wait for a few seconds for everyone to log in, and then we can begin the session. So let me share the screen in the meantime. Yeah, so I hope you're able to see the chess screen. Is it big enough? Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah. Okay, so are you all able to see the chess screen clearly? Okay, fine. So today it's about pawn sacrifice, and for all those of you who are already Dream Room subscribers, if you had seen the videos, I have given some explanation about this pawn sacrifice, and there are also many good examples. I hope the Dream Room subscribers had a chance to go through the episode. Okay, so in general, what happens when we learn the game? We don't understand the value of the pieces on the pawns, the value of keeping the king safe, and so on. And slowly, as we improve in our game, we want the board bigger. I have my other chess-based screen as well. Okay, is it big enough? Okay. Okay, fine. So, as I was saying, like when we are young, we don't understand the value of pieces and pawns. So our coaches, they teach us to be careful when some material is under attack. And if, let's say, if your pawn is under attack, we should defend the pawn and so on. So what happens is over a period of time, if we don't see enough attacking games, enough games, complicated games where players sacrifice material and so on, then the problem is we think we should always play with equal pawns. And many times we can see when a player sees a position for the first time and you want to find out whether white is better or black is better, what we do, we start counting pawns, right? So we start by counting the material, and then if all pawns are equal, pieces are equal, then okay, fine. So probably the position is equal. Okay, so we start attaching a lot of importance to playing with equal pawns. Okay, so then what happens? We gradually lose the habit of sacrificing pawns for greater good. Now, what are the reasons when we can sacrifice a pawn? So, few reasons that come to my mind. One, when let's say you have already castled your king, your opponent's king is still in the center, and is getting ready to castle. So you don't want to allow that. So what you do, you sacrifice a pawn, open the center, and start a quick attack against the opponent's king in the center. So this is one example where we can sacrifice pawn. What are the other possibilities? Now, let us say you know the Mora gambit, right? E4, C5, D4, CD4, C3, DC3 castle, CB2, bishop B2, something like this. Okay, so to develop pieces very quickly, you can sacrifice pawn, right? To develop pieces quickly, you can sacrifice pawn. To attack the opponent king in the center in the opening, you can sacrifice pawn. Sometimes you give pawn sacrifice for positional reasons, like you get good control over dark squares, or you get good control over light squares. You can sacrifice pawn. If to delay opponent's development, we can sacrifice pawn. For example, you play e6, he takes f e6, and then the bishop f8 is not able to come out quickly. Okay, so to delay opponent's development, we can sacrifice pawn. For opening up the opponent's king to destroy his pawn structure, we can sacrifice pawn. To open file or diagonal, let's say a bishop is very bad because the pawn is blocking it. So you just throw the pawn away, so the bishop will become active. So to make your pieces active, you can sacrifice pawn. To get a good outpost, you can sacrifice pawn. Okay, so there are, I mean, to create a pass pawn, you can sacrifice pawn. So there are many reasons why you can sacrifice pawns. But in general, to protect your own king, if your king is under attack, you can sacrifice a pawn to keep the king safe. So there are multiple reasons why we can sacrifice a pawn. Okay, now, but ultimately, you can bring all these different categories. You can have to create a blockade. Yeah. So ultimately, they all this come under two categories. One, king safety. Two, peace activity. So if you want to open a diagonal, create an outpost to keep the king safe, to make the opponent king weak. So ultimately, everything is about either making your king safe or making opponent's king weak, making your piece good or making opponent's piece bad. Ultimately, it will come down to this category only: peace activity and king safety. Okay, so now the problem is for some players, sacrificing pawns is not a big deal. Okay, they don't think too much. If they find they have enough compensation, they will go ahead, sacrifice a pawn, and play the game. But for many players, taking such a decision is very difficult. They'll see, oh my God, I'm a pawn down. And then even if they get a good attack, even if their pieces become very active, they are still feeling like I'm a pawn down. And that makes them very insecure. Okay, they don't want to play with the pawn down. And their mind, it is only all about pawn. Pawn down, pawn down, pawn down. So what they usually do, they simply avoid putting themselves in that situation by not sacrificing the pawn. Okay, so there are two categories of people. One who are willing to sacrifice pawns when there is a need, and another category, this is the majority, where even when there is a need, they don't want to sacrifice a pawn because they are not sure they will have enough compensation. Okay, so what you should do, you should see enough examples and expose your mind to the fact that if your pieces are active, you usually get good compensation for the pawn. Maybe not an advantage, but definitely good compensation. Okay, so let us see some examples in this. Okay, I just played this. First move is obvious. Like speaker was waiting with the move. Just enter. Okay, so you don't go knight f6, blocking your own bishop. Knight f6. Okay, but it is so easy to play knight f6, right? And play with equal pawns, isn't it? Playing knight f6, we are safe, equal pawns. But you lose space. Moves like h4 can come. So he plays knight f4. Let us see from the black side. Okay. Now he has to take the pawn. Fine. What to do? Don't immediately type the moves, guys. Please have patience. Think. Look at the position. Think. Analyze. So only that thinking, stopping, thinking, analyzing will improve your chess. If you simply guess moves, if you simply type moves, it won't improve your chess. And after many years, you will feel, I'm seeing a lot of chess, I'm still not improving. I don't know whether Vikram Kara is listening to what I'm saying. If you don't teach yourself to think and analyze, if you don't learn to pass, think, analyze, it is impossible to become a good chess player. Make a list of moves in your mind. Okay. If you don't make a list of moves, then whatever move that comes to your mind, you have to play it. No point in analyzing because you are capable of seeing only one move. If you're capable of seeing only one move, what is the need to analyze at all? You see one move, just play it. At least you won't get into time trouble. But if you ask any strong player, if one player is capable of seeing only one move at a time, they will not accept them as good players. So far, no one has given the correct move. No correct move so far because everybody is like seeing what is easy to see and then telling. Okay, Dubari Subramani, can you please change the two settings to all panelists? Currently, it is all panelists and attendees. Can you please change to all panelists alone? Okay, so all of you who have typed moves, none of the moves you suggested is correct, except Sandeep Bisht. Okay, guys, my suggestion, please don't type anything. Okay, make a list of moves in your mind. Make a list of moves in your mind. See more than one possibility in the position. If we think there is only one good move in every position, and that good move is the move I see, okay, whatever comes to my mind, that is the best move, then what is the English word for that? You are being too naive, hmm? Too innocent like a baby. Your opponent will just eat you if you think whatever move that comes to your mind is the best move. Okay, Namit Bir, all the moves not right. Shriyana Malya, no. Sandeep Nagare, no. Banerjee Anurag, no. Nagesh Rishcharan, no. Arnav Muralidhar, no. Kushal Jani, no. Timal Sina, no. Okay, you just have to guess moves for black. Mundit. Guess moves for black. We are saying about pawn sacrifice. Janavi, Arav, Nirav, Bashi, Mohammad Bashiki, Duburi, Sandeep Nagare, Kushal Jani, Sai Varshit. No. Okay, Shivendra and Kushagra, correct. Okay, so almost everyone said knight g6, queen g5, queen h4, f5, b5. These were the moves. Okay, so what can we learn here? That we saw some moves and they are not right. What can we learn? Hmm? We saw some moves and they are not correct. So Kushal Jani says this is a critical moment. But how do you know this is a critical moment? No, the point is you have to have the humility to realize all the moves I see. If you see few moves, it is quite possible that the moves you see are not the best moves in the position. Okay, and this is precisely why strong players give so much importance to making list for candidate moves. Okay, so this is precisely why strong players give lot of importance to making a list before analyzing. Okay, because they realize that the move sometimes they don't even see the correct move. Okay, if you don't see the correct move, what chance you have of playing the correct move? Okay, if GH5, what to do? If GH5, yeah, if GH5, you should go King H7, and then you get Bishop H6, rook g8, or even f5, and you get a very strong attack. Okay, so if you do this, you come here. Now there are multiple threats. One is bishop h6, the other is f5, the other is rook g8, rook f8. You can easily transfer all your pieces to the king side, and your own king will be safe. You get a very strong attack. Okay, so this move h5 is very nice. Immediately don't start typing moves. As I said, teach yourself to think, not just typing. No. Okay, so many of you gave h4. That is not right, because once you play h4, he will move the queen, and then he will play f4, and then the white pawns will start rolling. Okay, you did not give pawn sack, so you can make the opponent king safe by closing the position with h4. Okay, so that's h4 is very bad move. Okay, so Arjun Balamurli says, I had very similar position in my games in the tournament, but I never had the will and confidence in me to sacrifice a pawn. What should I do? Should I see more games, tactics, more studies? No, see, that is why, like many times, what happens, please guys, don't type now. Okay, I want to answer to this and also explain certain important things. Okay, so please don't type moves now or comments. Please listen to this. This is important. Okay, he says, like, when I get some similar positions in my games, I see some sacrifice, but I don't have the confidence to play those sacrifice. So what should I do? Should I see more example? Like that he's asking. Okay. Now that is why what happens, like many parents, and as a result, many players, and as a result of parents, and also as a result of coaches, almost everyone thinks that we have to identify, we all make some mistakes, some common mistakes or similar mistakes, and they are our weaknesses. And then if we have a coach, then the coach's responsibility is identifying the weakness and helping the student to come out of the weakness. Now this looks like a lot of common sense. Makes more sense when we put like this, right? If you have a weakness, identify it, work on it, eliminate it, and then you improve. Okay. But usually what happens is many of our mistakes, they are not just chess related. Okay. So they are mostly to do with our psychology. Good evening, Sarnabhavan. Okay, guys, please don't type moves now. Okay, let me answer this point and then we can continue from there. Okay, so what happens is we think we are all weak in some areas. In my view, that itself is a very wrong attitude. Okay, now if I think I am weak in something, then slowly I will start accepting it. I will start believing it. And then it becomes the truth. For example, one of my student, she was very good in calculation. Okay, she actually calculates very well. But in one tournament, in two consecutive rounds, she made blunders and she lost. Okay, she had a good position. She made a one more blunder, lost. Then she came on Skype and said that I had such a good position and I made a stupid blunder and I lost. And I think I said it's okay, fine. One bad day doesn't mean anything. But she said, no, sir. I think my calculation has become weak. I think I have become weak in calculation. I have to improve my calculation. And then I said, no, you are not weak in calculation. You are actually very good in calculation. It is just one bad day. You are in bad form, maybe, or you are tired, whatever reason. You made a blunder. So don't think your calculation is weak, or don't think you are weak in calculation. Your calculation is fine. You don't have to worry about it. She said, fine. And the next day, she again blundered second round. And then she came and said, I'm sure, sir, my calculation is very bad. I think I have become very weak in calculation now. That is why I'm making all these blunders. Okay, so what she did is the fact that she made a blunder, it's a calculation mistake, it's fine. But she accepted it as her nature now, or something that is permanent. Okay, and once she starts believing she is weak in calculation, then that is the truth. Once you think you are bad in something, you are bad in something. Okay, so today I was working with some players, and one of the players, for 1 year, he was not making any improvement, and then suddenly he started playing well. Okay, so I asked him, what changed and why you suddenly started playing well? And he said, I thought my calculation is bad. I'm not good in calculation. So I was not calculating well. And he has one brother, okay, younger brother. And the younger brother was also like him, but suddenly younger brother started calculating very well and he started improving before the elder brother. Okay. So the elder brother, then I asked, like, so you thought your calculation is weak, so you are not calculating well. Then suddenly how you started calculating well? Then he said, when I saw my younger brother calculating well, then I realized I'm not bad than this guy. If he can calculate well, I also can calculate well. And then once I started believing that I can also calculate well, I started calculating well. Now, I'm not surprised by this. Some of you might be surprised. So I think to improve calculation, all you have to do is, instead of solving puzzles and all that stuff, the first thing you should do is what? First step in improving calculation. Yes, belief. Okay, belief in yourself. That if you can believe that I can calculate well, problem is solved in my opinion. As simple as that. Sounds stupid, but I've seen this in practice many times, hundreds of times. Okay, what people believe is actually the truth. Okay, what people believe is truth for them. Suppose I am wearing a blue color glass and one of you is wearing a red color glass. One of you is wearing yellow color glass. So like that, all of us are wearing different colors, shaded glass. And for all of us, how will the earth look? So whoever is wearing red glass, you will see the whole earth as red, everything as red. And for him, it is a lie or a truth. It appears red to him because he is wearing a red glass. So it is truth. Everything is red, right? And if someone is wearing a blue glass, for him, the truth is everything is blue. Everything appears blue. So everything is blue. Now, if you tell the red guy that blue guy tells the red guy, no, boy, everything is blue. It's not red. And the red guy will think, no, you are lying. Everything is red actually. Okay. So what is truth actually? Whatever you believe is the truth. Okay. Now, if that is the case, what is the smart thing to do as a chess player? What is the smart thing to do? Should you think my calculation is weak? I am not good in chess. I always get into time trouble. I don't manage my time well. My opening is so bad. Hmm? Should you believe these type of things? Or should you believe I calculate very well? I'm good in calculation. I can attack very well. I can play against strong players or weak players very well. Even if I lose, I can bounce back with a victory. Should you believe these type of things? So it's a choice. What color glass you want to wear? Okay, we have all kinds of glasses available, so you can choose which glass to wear. So if you lose a game, you can wear a glass which says, "Oh, I'm such a bad player. I'm always losing." Or you can wear a glass which says, "I will bounce back with a win tomorrow. I just had a one bad day." So which glass you are going to wear is your choice. Okay? Yeah, understand. So I have seen like two players, the brothers which I was talking about, like their mother came to me a few months ago, like 10 months ago or so, and she asked, "How are my children doing?" I said, "They both are not improving." Okay, I don't think they are very serious about chess, and they are just attending classes, but not much improvement. I'm not very happy. Something should change because this is not working well. Okay, so the mother was very upset. And then from this happened like 5:36 in the evening around this time. And next day morning, the younger one started calculating very well. Both were calculating like this. Okay. Next day morning, the younger boy started calculating like this. So did he learn calculation in that one night? No. The mother just gave some good scolding, some shock treatment, and then the small boy just changed the glass. Okay. And then once he started believing I can do it, he started doing it, started calculating well. And once the younger boy started improving calculation, the elder boy said, if he can do, I can also do. Once he thought, I can also do, he started doing it. He could do it. So it is so easy to improve calculation. Okay. Now, one thing, like I've traveled with the Indian team and all a lot of times, and I have seen and spoken to many top players. One common thing with everyone, one thing is very, 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 very common. What is that? Self belief. Okay, self belief. They believe in themselves. They think they are good. And in my opinion, that is why they are good. You know why the strong players are good? Because they really think they are good. Nothing else. You see how easy it is to become a good chess player. Now the question is, you should ask everyone to yourself, can I believe in myself like that? Can I trust myself? Okay, think about it. So those of you who are young and ambitious and willing to work very hard, before all of those things, the most important thing is the self belief. If you cannot believe in yourself, who else will believe in you? Why should anyone believe in you if you are not willing to believe in yourself? There's no reason, right? Why others should believe in you? Hmm? Okay, so once you believe in yourself, now the next thing is we are not good in certain things. I'm willing to believe that I am good in calculation. I am a good chess player, or I can become a good chess player. If you are willing to believe in this, yes, with hard work, if I work properly, if I have the right attitude, I can become a very strong player. If you are willing to believe this, then you may start getting doubts. But I don't calculate well, I don't attack well, I don't play end games well, I don't play positional chess well, I don't calculate well, blah 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 blah. Okay, simply accept it. Yes, now I am not good in these things, but it does not mean I'm going to be bad in those things. Okay, if currently I am not good in certain things, that means currently I'm not good in those things. That's all. It is not permanent. It is like currently some of you are hungry. So does it mean even after eating food you will feel hungry? No. Does it mean after you eat something you will feel hungry? No. After you eat you won't feel hungry for some time, right? So if you are thirsty now, it does not mean permanently you will be thirsty. Once you drink water you won't be thirsty. Okay, so same way, if you are feel you are not good in some areas in chess, it simply means currently you are weak in those areas, and once you work in those areas you will become good in those areas. That's all. Make sense? Okay, so don't worry about your weaknesses. Okay, don't keep thinking about what is wrong in yourself. Let it be. Okay, work on those areas, become good, become a strong player. Okay, fine, let's go to the position now. So let this most natural move. Now what he can do, white. Now he can play fg4, which is a natural move, automatic recapture, or he can play f4, right? If fg4, what is the problem? If fg4, what is the problem for white? You're all thinking in terms of moves. Everyone is giving a move after fg4. The e5 square. Okay, the e5 square becomes very strong for black, very weak for white. Okay, so if you play fg4, many of you said queen g5. That is fine, but the thing is like the e4 pawn becomes backward and the e5 square becomes very good. Okay, now you can actually go back, and that is a principle. So this square is called the superfluous square. Okay, superfluous square, what do I mean by that is, this square is a good outpost for our pieces, for black's pieces, but whichever piece goes there, the other pieces will become passive. Okay, so if I put my knight on e5, the bishop g7 and queen e7 will become passive, they will be affected. Okay, so the point is, if many pieces are fighting for same square, okay, if many pieces are fighting for the same square, then whichever piece goes to the square will make the other pieces passive. So what we should do in such cases, what we should do, ideally, don't put any piece in that square, and whichever piece goes, you should put in such a way that other pieces will have other better squares available. Okay, so for example, what you can do, you could go here, and then the queen can go here, and then the knight can come here, something like that. Okay, so basically, all the pieces should not be fighting for one square. Each piece should have a different good square. So you can go bishop e5, queen g5, knight h4. So like that. So queen is happy on g5, knight on h4, bishop on e5, like that. You find different good squares for your pieces. Okay. So he could have taken fg4, but you would have lost complete control over the e5 square. The e4 pawn would have become weak. So he played f4. Okay, we don't have much choice. Knight g6. Now, one threat is bishop c3, bc3, queen e4. But what is the actual threat? Tell me. What is the actual threat? Okay, the threat is, suppose he plays bishop g4. What should we do? If white plays bg4. Yeah, Srikar is right. Sarona Bhavan is right. Yeah, Sarthak Rawat is right. So if he takes bishop g4, you don't take bishop c3, bc3. You first give this check, intermediate check. And now take bishop c3. What is the point? Now you take the same pawn with check. Okay? So he can take this. You can still take this. All the black pawns are scattered. Sorry, all the white pawns are scattered and black is clearly better. Okay? You can just play rook d8 one more. When he goes back with the bishop, you can occupy rook e8 open file, or you can push b5 and create a pass pawn. Okay? All the white pawns are scattered. So okay, he would come knight d3. Okay? So in this position, no, the outside pass pawn is harmless. You cannot even push h4. King can easily block the h pawn. The game he played f5. What to do? Calculate. You have to do some calculation, guys. See some variation. Don't be happy with finding the first move. Okay? That's not what we are trying to do. Yeah, Kushal Jani is correct. Sandeep Nagare correct. Janavi Reddy correct. Yeah, so you go BD4 check first. Okay, he has to move. And now you take. Okay, now if he takes on C3, you will play Queen E4 check and Queen B1. So most of you stopped here. Now he cannot take FG6 because the pawn is pinned against the queen. So what do we do? But next move he can take on C3. So we come back. So not only we come back, we also get the knight G6 out of the pin. So we are ready to play knight E5. Okay. So what should white do? Rook G. This is only move. Now I cannot move my knight because Queen G is on it. Now he is going to play Queen G2 or something, and then he is going to take the knight. But it gives us one more. What should we do? Everyone likes Queen E5, but he did not play it. Queen E5 is also winning. Okay, now we are going to take Queen into E4. So black has an extra piece. If you get enough pawns, you can give back the piece happily. The other pieces and pawns will do the job. Okay, what to do? Now, black has a funny forced win. There are many ways, but one win is very forcing. He's threatening f6. To move the knight, he can play f6. Yeah, Arjun, very good. Shrika, very good. Yeah, Namit, very good. So we can actually play c4, forcing move. Bishop c4, queen e4 check. It goes. Don't leave him. Chase him all the way. Okay? And we are winning. Okay, so let's go to next example. In the game, he didn't play this, he played something else. But okay. One minute. One minute, I'll close the board and open again. Mhm. 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, so we played h4. Black to play. Done. Yash Patel, yes. Mitran, no. Kushal, yes. Mayank, yes. Others, no. Srikar, Janavi, Jeet yes. Nirav, Anirudh, Muhammad, yes. So mostly the choice is between B5 and D5. If B5, he takes bishop B5. Doesn't make much sense. What did you get after that? Did you get any open file, diagonal, outpost, pass pawn? Nothing. Okay, so it's not B5, it is D5. Now you have a choice, so you should not simply make a guess. Okay, you should slow down, consider your options, make a list, analyze, finally, as a mature player, take a decision. Don't type moves immediately. So what are the choices? There are three moves. Yeah, Shivendra, yes. So one is you can counter attack with d4, or you can move the knight away. If you want to move the knight away, what are the best squares for the knight? So you can go here, you can go here, you can go here, right? So these four moves are possible. Okay. Now this is how you should analyze. You should, before you decide, you should see these four moves are possible, and then you should start making list. So now you have the list. You should analyze which one is better and take a decision. Okay. So many of you are saying knight h5, d4. Okay. So it's not much. Okay. So this is how you should analyze. You should immediately make a list and then see one by one. You can sometimes you can decide based on simple common sense. You can say, oh no, this move looks so bad. Or this move I don't think it is correct. Like that you can decide, eliminate some moves. Or you can say, if you play this, this is coming. So for this reason, this move is bad. So you can give a reason using calculation, or you can give reason using simple logic and common sense. Arav, I'm reading. You don't have to type. Arav, Mitran, don't have to type the same thing many times. Okay, when you read once, I'm usually reading all your messages. Okay, okay. So he chose this. Why? We will see why later. But can someone tell me why he went to E8 and not D7? What is the difference between 98 and 97? The D7 blocks the queen. That is not the reason. No, if he takes ED5, you have bishop f5. So someone said, uh, like he gives the square d7 for the bishop. Like ed5, you can come bd7 like that. That is not the point. The point is when he takes ed5, that's what happened in the game. Now, where will you go? bd7? I don't think so. Okay. Now, Mithran, it's not the question of wrong. This is stronger. Okay. Black wants to play on the queen side. Okay, so he doesn't want knight h5. You understand? So Mithran is asking why not knight h5? What is wrong with knight h5? The point is with knight h5 in this position, it is out of the king side attack. Sorry, queen side attack. It's not helping in attacking the white king. But from knight e8, it can help in attack against the white king. That is why knight e8 is better than knight h5. Okay. Now, what is the most logical move? Everyone wants to play knight d6. But what is the drawback of knight d6? What's the drawback of knight d6? He can come knight c5 or bishop c5. Okay. So some of you said only knight c5. And some of you said only bishop c5. So a good player should see both and then decide one move. Understand? Okay, so if you go knight d6, white may get knight c5 or bishop c5. And then you should analyze and then find, okay. So according to my analysis, bishop c5 is better. Okay, so for example, if you go knight d6, and all the attack is stopped. The pieces are getting exchanged, and the black's attack the queen side is not very dangerous. Okay, so for this reason, he did not play knight d6. Okay, so Gautam is asking why did black give a pawn with d5? Okay, so he gave a pawn because you can see this beautiful square for the bishop. Hmm. So black's pieces are very active. To make his pieces active, he gave a pawn. Okay, so he played d6 prophylaxis. So this is very difficult, no? Right. Okay, Arav, that is another way to play, but this is more strong, more powerful. That's why he played this. Okay, so what did he do? He played b6. Now, what is the point of b6? He wants to play knight d6 on the next move. With this, knight d6. So imagine if the knight is on h5, what can it do on the queen side? Nothing. Okay, guys, just give me a couple of minutes. Okay, couple of minutes, I'll be back. You can think now. Hello, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so some of you say white wants to play g6. So let us play g6 ourselves. No? Vikram Kara, correct. Kushal Jani, correct. Guru Prakash, Arnav Murlidhar, yes. Arav, it's little passive. Srikar, correct. Okay, so some of you say knight c4, b5. He didn't do that. Just trade some pieces. Okay, so include more pieces in the game. So which pieces are not participating as of now in the attack? So knight d6, it is ready to go knight c4, and it can also help in pushing b5. So rook c8, knight b4, bf5, they are good. So the rook f8, bishop e7, queen d8. These three pieces currently they are not doing much, right? The queen d8, rook f8, bishop e7. And as of now, to bring the rook f8 into the game is not very easy. Okay, so it is the queen and the bishop. And with knight d6, pawn g5, how can you make the bishop e7 active? It's not possible, right? So you see how my mind is thinking? The bishop e7 is not participating in the attack, but I cannot include it in any way. Rook f8, even if it comes rook e8, doesn't make much difference. So by elimination, you can easily find queen d7. Queen c7 will simply knock the rook. Okay, and here, what is the threat? One threat. Whether it works here or not, that is different. Yeah, you can consider. Okay, and queen b3 also can come with check. Rook c3, bc3, queen a4, cb4, queen b3 check. Okay, so this is one threat. So he played a move which I don't think he'll be very proud about. How painful it would be for white to play a move like this, right? Hmm. Now, no, Kushal, yes. Okay, so many of you, okay, not many of you finding the correct move. Yes, knight c4. Now you can include the other rook. Okay, so everybody will be happy joining the party. Okay, Mohammed, g6 is not a great attacking move. You can simply ignore it. Okay, just carry on with king set attack, queen set attack. We were threatening rook c3 and queen a4 now. If you say rook c3, you have to give me a variation, okay? Give me a variation till when? If you say rook c3. Okay, so like Arnav said, rook c3, queen c3, knight d5, queen e1. So far he is fine. And here there are two good moves. One is rook c8. The idea is to play bb4 without allowing c3. Okay, to play bb4 or knight c3. the other point is now you can even play for long-term compensation by playing b5. Okay, you simply want to play ba4, open the king, and if it does, you can even consider a4, or you can do this. This king will not survive, right? Hmm? Too much attack. So very good compensation. Fine. So this is possible, but in the game he played rook c8 back. What to do? Yeah, rook c7, probably he was worried about knight b5. But now there is a small difference, guys. Exploit it. Now the king is on b2. How does it matter? Are now correct. So now he went rook c3. What is the point? After queen c3, knight d5, queen e1. Now you have the extra option 26. With king b1, this is too slow, right? But now queen a3, the check, and then bb4. It's over. Enjoying. All the pieces are falling on the black white king. Now, for this move, you should not think too much. Get the last guy into the attack. This is professionalism. Okay, you have multiple threats. You can play bishop c2, knight c2, queen b3 check, or rook c2. So many moves. So find a win. So somebody said bishop c3. What about knight c3? Sorry, for bishop c3, if you take bishop c3, what you do? If you do knight c3, queen c3, and unfortunately, it is white who is winning now. Okay, maybe not winning. Or not. Be careful, guys. Don't be careless. I need a variation. Are now correct. Guys, you have to give variation, okay? Kom Prasad, queen b3 means knight b3. So Yash Patel said bishop c2, knight c2, queen b3 check, king here, rook into. Okay, but what is wrong with this? We'll go queen b2. Okay, and white is winning. So unfortunately, that does not work. So you have to be careful, guys. Don't Be careless. Don't be emotional. Okay, so it took rook c2. Now, if queen e8, or you have bishop f8. Okay, knight c2, and this one very important. Takes, he resign. If king a1, bishop c3 check. If king c1, queen c2 mate, and if b2, take mat. Okay, so if you see just by check, 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 we are winning. Forcing move. Okay, if queen c3, we just win the queen. Okay, fine. Let's go to next example. Okay, I will close the board now, or maybe I will leave it open for now. One minute, guys. Okay, so new share. Okay, 1 minute. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow we don't have a lesson. Okay, so let's keep the Queen's Gambit declined. This is called what? Which variation? Vienna. Okay, Vienna. It's not Queen's Gambit accepted. It's called Vienna. Now, what are the two main moves here for white? There are two main moves for white. What are they? So many of you say bishop g5, which is correct. Bishop g5 is what happened in this game also. There is another move which is very popular recently. That is bishop c4. Okay, knight e4. They give pawn sack. Okay, like now they go bishop d6 or bishop e7. Two moves are possible. Okay, so there is another line like this. Okay, but in this game, bishop g5 was played. Okay, we regain the pawn. We have a strong center, but black has two bishop advantage, and black is saying, I am not sure whether the center is strong. It could become weak also. Castle, rook d8, c5, knight c6, and very quickly, white's strong center can become a weak center. Okay, that is what white is hoping to achieve. Okay, so from here, let's play. What should white do? See, the moves that can be postponed should be postponed. They should not be done immediately. Okay, just castle. All this happened in the game. Yeah, this is all still theory. Make a list in your mind, think, and then tell. Don't tell whatever the first move that comes to your mind. I already said it's like very naive thinking. Now, if you go queen d4 and all, there's no point. You cannot give two bishop and then go to an endgame. Okay, so queen d4 you can rule out immediately. If you play knight d4, you can just castle and rook d8. You will get the pin. So by elimination, you can find this. Tanisha, Namidbir, no. Speaker, yes. Kushal Jani, yes. Anurag, yes. Others, no. Jeet Shah, yes. Others, no. So many of you like queen a4, knight b5, a3, and so on. But he played. Now, if we just count pawns, white is a pawn down, but that doesn't give the full picture. So with knight c6, he has saved the d4 pawn. Okay, what to do? Look at bishop c8. Poor guy. And king e8, queen d8, rook h8, rook a8, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. That is the problem. Yeah, Nagesh, yes. Jicha, Anurag, yes. Okay. Fine. Now, this is actually the critical moment. What plan you are going to do? Which side of the board you should play? Where you should put the pieces? Is the critical moment. So which side of the board we should play? Queen side, center, king side. So Lucky Verma says queen side white should play. And Rishi Saranabha say center. Guru Prakash says center and queen side. So many of you say center or queen side. Srikar says king side and center. So which one is correct? Center, king side, queen side and center, king side and center. Which side? Confusing, huh? All three. Okay, see, where your opponent does not have peace, where your opponent is weak, that is where you should play. Yeah, Sai worship, you're right. So where your opponent is weak, where is black weak? Center or queen side or king side? He doesn't have any piece on the king side, right? So you should play in the king side and center. Okay, center because from center you have to shift the pieces to the king side. Okay. So those who said we have to play on the queen side, you have to work more on your chess. Many of you said queen side and center. So all of you, those who said that, you must see more chess at home, more seriously with more involvement. Okay. So why queen e2? Okay, many of you are saying rook a d1. He did not play that. Many of you like rook a d1. He did not do that. If at all any rook has to come to d1, I think it should be rook a d1, not rook of d1. Yeah, Nirav, that's correct. So what is the idea? So knight g3, queen e4. Okay. Now I have to play a very strong move. So far, nobody has given the correct move. Yeah, Mudit and Kushal Jani. Namit Anirudh Chatterjee. Yes. Tanisha. Mudit Bansal. Sandeep Krish. You are not correct. Now, what is the drawback of G6? Or no, only that. What's the drawback of G6? That's what he's exploiting with this move. Okay, when the pawn is on g7, if you play h4, h5 doesn't make much sense. But with g6, h4 makes a lot of sense. So what type of move is h4? Already white is a pawn down and is willing to give another pawn, second pawn sacrifice, right? But what is the type of move h4 is? You're saying threatening move, attacking move, all that, but the main essence of h4, what is that? Main essence of h4. Pawn break, positional. What is he doing with h4? Is adding more pieces into the attack. Okay, now let's imagine, suppose I play rook a d1 instead of h4. This is what many of you wanted, right? Rook a d1. Is it adding pieces into the king side attack? No, right? It is in the center, right? So he is asking, okay, I don't have enough pieces in the attack. That is why my attack is still not dangerous for black. Okay, I'm not getting any forced win here because maybe my piece, I don't have enough pieces in the attack. Then he asks, how can I bring more pieces into the attack? Okay, the rook lift can come only when the bishop is not on d3. Okay, if the bishop is already, you can play rook d1, bishop b1, rook d3. Okay, that is one plan which is possible. Okay, but this is more quick, isn't it? Faster. Okay, so now if he takes bishop h4, take, check. Now this queen is stuck. Okay, and then can do this. What's the point? Okay, and suddenly Mr. Queen is not very happy. Look at all these pieces. Spectators, right? Not doing anything. Okay, you need a lot of courage when you're already a pawn down to sacrifice another pawn. But he's not just sacrificing a pawn. Okay, he's adding one more pawn into the attack. That's how you should look. Hmm? That's why he played h4. The moment he played g5, what should be our plan? To get this. Okay, but if you do that directly, he will take knight e5, right? So what he did, he prepared it. What is the point of this move? One, if you come here, he will come here. Okay, that's not very dangerous. You can keep it as a threat. This is his real idea. Now he cannot take knight e5. The knight will go here, from where it will attack this, it will defend this. Okay, and more importantly, it opens the path for the f4. So with here, I cannot play f4, right? I cannot. So this is a multi-purpose move. Once it comes to knight g4, it will defend your weak e5 pawn. It will attack the h6 pawn. It allows f4 break, and you can also get queen e4 or whatever. Nice, right? And now, yes. Ajit Shah, continue. Srikar, yes. Komprasad Anirudh, no. Let's see how he finishes. Ishkum. What we are worried about? This is what Jicha said. If I play rook f4, he gets bishop g5. What I should do? Even in blitz, you should play this move. No, guys, not rook f7. You see, everybody is joining the attack, and we are not giving importance to material. And the bishop was a very good defensive bishop, defending the king. But because of the pressure on f7, he was supposed to give the bishop for the rook. He's just hoping sometimes I will get this. Yeah, Seeker or now, yes. Namit will know. So many of you want to play rook f6? Nope. Play knight g4 and he resigned. They're so fed up. So many pieces around the king. He's like an orphan, right? No piece near him. You don't have to like win immediately. Okay, you can even slowly do this. Okay. So Mudit Bansal says, I often get these type of position as black. How should I defend? Okay, you should not get such positions as black. It means either you are ignoring development. You see, three pieces not yet developed. Hmm? So instead of developing pieces, if you win pawns and all in the opening, this is the type of position you will get. Okay, so you should not get such positions. If you get such positions, then you are not playing opening principles properly. Okay, so there's no question of how should I play such position. Okay, so I'll just take few questions. How to improve calculation? Okay, it's off topic, not for today. Uh, when I think, I keep repeating variation again and again. This reduces my time on the clock. I tried doing many studies and combinations to improve this problem, but the problem doesn't get solved. What can I do? Okay, Sarana Bhavan, can you please email your question to me? Okay, you can send it to Nurture. They will forward it, this question. I need to answer it elaborately. Okay, I will do it by email. Okay, for calculation, can you tell some books? And Nirav Ganwani says, I misjudge by my position very often. If I'm thinking better, if my position is worse, in worse questions, I'm thinking I'm better. No, just you see strong players' games, and I already mentioned two things are very important: king safety and piece activity. Give importance to this, then you will not have this problem. Okay, so let us stop today with this. Akanksha.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time. And I hope you all liked the today's session. So, bye bye. See you soon, guys.
Yeah. So we will meet in the next week, Saturday, for the 52-week session. Okay.
Yeah, for sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Akanksha. So,
Thank
Saran,
you, friends.
you can email to Nurture team. You can go to the Nurture website. There'll be an email. You can write to them your question. They will forward it to me. Okay.
Yeah, completely, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye. Bye, friends.